everyone, welcome to Om Shanti Healing. In this video we're going to talk about essential oils. So what are essential oils? We all know that they're liquid. We get them in little bottles. These little bottles are made with plant products. So when you get an essential oil, it is essentially the distillation process creating an oil from seed or bark or leaves or stems or flowers or roots or rinds, various parts of the plant. Whatever part of the plant creates an oil that we can use to our benefit. Now when you're looking for an essential oil, purity is pretty important. We want to have an oil that we can put in our body or on our body, or we can breathe into our lungs, that is of potency and purity, and we know exactly what we're getting. So when you're looking for an essential oil, look for certified pure therapeutic grade. And my biased opinion is with doTERRA essential oils. I believe in the product. I know how they're sourced and where they're sourced, and I know that the purity and potency is very, very high. The environment plays a component in the purity of the product. Constituents are variable depending on soil constitution and whether or not there's fertilizers or pesticides sprayed on the plants, or if they're forced in a greenhouse or growing in their natural climate. doTERRA essential oils all their stuff is grown in indigenous areas of the planet, working with villagers and impoverished communities all over the globe to create trusting relationships. Therefore, there's love and attention and integrity put into each plant that is grown and sourced for our benefit. And when you buy brands that are over the counter at the grocery store or on Amazon, you just don't know if there's been some adulteration or dilution added to the oil to stretch the dollar of whoever's selling it. When you buy strictly from doTERRA, it comes right from doTERRA, and there's trust in knowing that the product is pure. So let's talk a little bit about the science behind the essential oil. Now there's this filtration system in the brain called the blood-brain barrier, and that protects the brain from chemicals and toxins and things going into the brain that can otherwise damage the cells. And it's a protection system. So when you have a prescription drug for anxiety or depression, it doesn't necessarily get through that barrier. It creates kind of a numbing effect and creates a band-aid to the problem. And then when you try to go off of these medications, you have some major issues because your brain goes back to where it was prior to, or even worse than. It doesn't really know how to respond and manage stressors very well. When you use an essential oil such as frankincense or sandalwood, those are two fine examples to help with brain issues. It gets past the blood-brain barrier. There's components of the essential oils that gets through that filtration system to give you the utmost benefit of what the oils are used for. Okay? So you want to make sure when you use essential oils to get that high potency, high quality brand, to get the best benefits, whether you're using them for brain health or anything else you may need it for. So essential oils have been around for a long, long time, since early civilization. You may have learned in school about ancient Egyptians and them using essential oils in mummification and applying them to the body for preservation, and in the tomb to help them in transformation to safely reach the afterlife. In Greek mythology, there is uses of essential oils to reach the gods, to commune, to remove negative energies, negative spirit, and bring in health and wellness into the communities, into the people, protect them from viruses and so forth. And as well, biblical references. There's endless biblical references on essential oils as well. in the history of the great book. So when we talk about essential oils and we think about, all right, I want to have a pure, therapeutic, potent oil, but what can I use it for? So as far as immune health, essential oils are used a lot for preventative measures, but if you do happen to become ill, if it's a bacterial infection or viral or a parasite or whatever you have going on, essential oils can aid in alleviating symptoms and healing your body from this viral or bacterial infection. So many oils can provide this. Primarily the ones that help with this immunity support the most are going to be your oregano oils and your rosemary or your thyme or your basil. They're herbal oils that you would otherwise use for cooking. Now when you use herbs for cooking, it's typically a dried herb, right? You have the dried oregano or the dried basil or thyme or what have you. Now just understand that they're dried because the good components, the healing components of those herbs have been pulled out of the actual plant and the oil was otherwise discarded. With essential oils, they pull the oil from the plant and they put it in a bottle and sell it to you, and that oil is got all the nutritional benefits that you can get from that specific oil. And these herbal oils are great for antibacterial, antifungal, anti-infectious, antimicrobial, anti-tumor, and parasite, and antiviral, and antiseptic. So you can not only use them in your body to decrease infection and harmful bacteria, but what it does is it also boosts your immunity levels, providing healthy cell regeneration and longevity. And also, these are all safe for cleaning as well. So any of these oreganos or basils or thymes or tea trees you can use in a spray bottle and clean surfaces of your can turn it into an essential oil. So there's two ways primarily that they extract the oil from the plant. One of them is called steam distillation. Now an essential oil is volatile, which means it evaporates quickly. It's kind of an astringent kind of feel to it. And the second is it's hydrophobic, which means it doesn't mix with water, and most of us know that oil and water don't mix. So how they extract the oil from the plant is they place the plant material in an enclosed chamber, and they have boiling water underneath, and that steam extracts the oil from the plant, which then floats to the surface. And once that steam cools, the plant material falls back down and the oil is left floating at the top. And then they clean that up and they third-party test it. Three times it's tested by 3 different facilities for potency and purity, and then they bottle it up and send it on to you. So another way they do it is called expression. So this is a cold pressing technique, which is primarily done with citrus fruits. Heating up the citrus fruit creates more of a chemical compound that is not needed for essential oils. It kind of destroys it. So they use cold pressing for the citrus to keep the potency really pure and clean. So they do that with a mechanical pressure type of device, which means they just place the peels on a surface and they push with mechanical pressing and squeeze the oil out essentially to create that effect. So hopefully this gives you a brief overview of how we can use essential oils, what they are. I am happy to meet with you one-on-one. yourvibesforyou@gmail.com, and we can set up a phone consultation or on FaceTime, or you can look at my website at mydoterra.com/JillUfer, and you can read a lot about essential oils and how they can benefit you there. And you can set up an account if you would like as a wholesale member. So please reach out if you have more questions on how you can bring natural medicine into your home. empower your family. And until next time, namaste.